Hello, we'd like to thank you for partaking in this interview. For those who do not know you, could you provide a brief introduction?
My name is Michael Kent. I am one of the owners of decerto. I'm 24, I believe. I'm originally from Newcastle, but I currently live in Bolton. I basically help run. Well, I own decerto and part own it and run it. Sort of. First introduction ever.
Could you describe what decerto is to you?
It's a lot of things to me because it's obviously something I've put a lot of time and effort into. Like to me, it's like I don't know. It's just somewhere that's been in my life for like 3.5 years. Like ever since I first joined the website, and ever since progressive years, I've taken it over. So to me, it's like it's like a part-time job, and then hopefully one day it'll be like a full-time job. But decerto itself is a news and community website for the Call of Duty scene, well, the competitive scene on Xbox 360. So that's what we cater for. But we also, it's developed over time as well. It's become more than just Xbox and stuff. It's like almost like a group of gamers that are like, even if they don't play competitively anymore, it's like they're still involved. Like it's like a life. It's gradually turned into like a lifestyle for them, basically.
So what made you decide to take the more managerial side over playing?
Well, I used to play competitively back on like when I first started on original Xbox, like 8 years ago, I think it is now. I used to play competitively for top teams on Rainbow, Black Arrow, original Rainbow, and then when we moved on to Xbox, played Ghost Recon, played Vegas 2, and then basically what happened was I got a job working in France. And then when I met a girl over there when I was working in France, so when I came back, I didn't have as much time to play because I was seeing her. She lived like further away from me, so we'd go back and forth. So there wasn't really as much time in order to play all the time. So I got involved basically at the start of Call of Duty 4. Instead of playing, I started basically managing the side that I was playing for, called Team Identity, and yeah, they went on to win first LAN event for Call of Duty in Europe. Well, there was a French one, but like a European event. So Team ID first COD 4 European champions, and then just developed from there. I went back to France, and as a result, decerto was created by Alex, who was one of the team members. And then when I moved back from France, I just joined decerto and went from there.
Where did the idea of a sort of LAN community come from?
Well, on the team, when we had Team ID, we had forums, and we're actually quite busy. Obviously, nowhere near as decerto busy, but like it was actually it was like, because we were the best team in Europe, or one of the best teams in Europe. Everyone had come to this website, to the ID website, and they'd post on the forums and stuff like that. So when ID joined Dignitas when I was away in France, one of the members, Alex, he thought, well, there's no place for us to chat anymore because Dignitas didn't really have a forum, like a community-based website like ID did. So he created decerto, which basically first off started as a forum and then started doing news and announcements and stuff. And then when I came on board, it went to sort of the next level and started properly doing news and announcements. So it was created by a Dutch guy basically, who, because there was a demand for it, because the community that we did have disappeared, sort of thing.
What has been your hardest decision to make since decerto was created?
Yeah, it's a tough question. I don't know, to be honest. I think a lot to do with like power and stuff, like who's in control. I think I find that really difficult to it's difficult to decide, because it's like no one at the time no one got paid for anything, and we didn't have a lot of money coming in and out, and it's like, how you can't really get rid of people when they're not getting anything back from it. But like at the same time, it's like, if it's wasting your time by them being there, even if you're not giving them anything, it's still a waste of some effort you can put into something else. So I don't know, probably it's a tough decision, but like back when the website, when there was like 8 owners, when it was like that was always hard making decisions then. I wouldn't say there's anything that specifically stood out to say that this was the hardest decision we've made. But yeah, so it's always been over basically the power over the website. But thankfully we've managed to actually get an actual structure now, and it's properly done. You know what I mean? Rather than before, where it was no one really knew what the situation was or who owned what. You know what I mean? It's been like sorted now, so it's actually it's got a structure and organisation to it, so that we in the future can actually like grow without it spiraling out of control.
If you could make a team and compete, who would be your dream team?
I don't know, because that's a good question, because I'm not sure whether I would. It definitely wouldn't be Morgan. I'm not sure whether I'd want to compete with people that make me laugh, or whether people who are really good at the game. Like, if it, you know what I mean, who what
Why don't you have a combination then?
you could have a combination. I don't know who I'd team with. To be honest, it would be a tough one. I'd like to team with Chris and Josh again, like local, because they're both like when we used to play on games, not games on Ghost Recon. It was actually hilarious playing, and we were pretty good as well. I don't know. It probably involve them two, and then some good other player. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's so many people that I could like involve, but like I don't want to say this person, that person. I'd love to team with them. I don't know. It's hard to say. I can't think who I'd want to team with. It's such a difficult question. I even knew the questions. Why didn't I think about this before? Yeah. All right. Well, I honestly don't know. But if it was just going off skill based now, it'd probably be like Excellence Gunchy, and maybe it's like Tommy or someone if it was just off skill. But obviously I'm the most skillful of them all. You know what I mean? With my massive, my massive ego. No.
What are your goals for Decerto in 2012?
We've got actually a lot coming up. It's not announced yet on the website, but it will be tonight or tomorrow. So by the time this is up, it'll be sorted. Basically, we've just signed a deal with Machinima, and we're actually going to start streaming through YouTube now instead of through Twitch TV. So that's actually a massive. It's a big move for us. It's going to mean a lot more. Hopefully, it's going to be a lot more views and a lot more people viewing it that wouldn't normally view it. At the moment, Twitch is quite saturated with terms of how many people are streaming. With regards to the website, we're going to try attend every event we can, or in 2012. So that's going to start with the two Amsterdam events coming up. So I'm actually flying out tomorrow to Reflex, and then again in 3 weeks for Battle of Amsterdam, and then obviously all the EGLs. We want to hopefully get a secure sort of sponsorship in terms of the website. So we want like, apart from just adverts, we want actually people like Decerto powered by and then a company. So we'd like to get a bit more of that. I don't know. I think I'd say one of the goals maybe would be to potentially have a full-time staff member by the end of the year. Someone who looks over everything. That person hopefully being me. But if not, then if that's not possible, then hopefully having a full-time staff member by the end of the year. What else do we want to do? We just want to make sure that we provide obviously the best equipment and the best, the best LAN coverage we can. Another thing is with Decerto itself, we've actually created like a media company. It's called Compete Media, and we own a number of websites now. So we actually own EU Esports now. We own Decerto and we own Gears of War Forum, and we may be acquiring a few more websites as we go. So, just what part of the Decerto plan is create a fully functioning website and like media company. Also, we want to do a lot of products as well. So we just got the Decerto hoodies in today, and we'll be selling those as of next week, hopefully. And obviously other products that we feel that are right for the community.
Because you said yesterday, I believe, like the Decerto community is getting bigger and bigger. So it'll be good to get some more things in it, so it hopefully becomes as big as MLG.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're different in terms of that. I mean, we're the sort of the website we'd aspire to be towards would be like Team Liquid. If anyone's heard of that on the SC2 community, like the StarCraft community, they've got Team Liquid, which is like a hub for international news and everything like that. And one thing we're going to try to do is try bring in more international news to Decerto. So I'm currently writing a piece on the Australian scene. I'm just waiting for some information on that. But also we're going to potentially, we haven't sorted anything out yet, but we're potentially going to become more international in terms of we're going to try to bring the Americans in to Decerto, because there isn't a website that's like central. Like in Europe, it's fine, we've got Decerto for it. But like abroad, like in America they don't have a website like Decerto, and I know we tried to create a Decerto America, but it just didn't work for various reasons, mainly the staff being useless. But like the American staff unfortunately being useless. But like they weren't as dedicated as we needed someone to be, and it ended up not working as a result. Like I know we had EU staff that was over there as well, but I mean it was more about the American staff that we needed to actually work like hard for it sort of thing, rather than having EU staff coming over. But I'm gonna speak to Golden Boy tonight. We're gonna try work something out where we're gonna start covering things internationally. So that should hopefully mean attending MLG events as well.
For the final question, as I'm a girl gamer, I thought it'd be a good question to ask you. What is your thoughts on girl gamers, and what do you think they bring to the community?
Oh, it's a tough one to answer. I don't want to upset anyone, but I mean, I think it's ridiculous you're even called girl gamers. What's the point? Like, what's the point when you've been called a girl gamer? Like, if you know what I mean, like in some way, I understand obviously from a marketing point of view why females are girl gamers, right? But like, who gives a shit if you're a girl or not? I couldn't give a flying fuck. Like, if you're playing and you lose, then you're shit and that's your problem. Like, it's irrelevant if you're a girl or not. It's like, oh, it's a girl, that's why you lost. Well, not really. It's because you've just lost. You know what I mean? And like, unfortunately, I mean, teams do get more recognition because they're girls, right? And it's good to see more girls coming in. And it's unfortunate we actually have to market it as a girl team. It can't just be a normal team.
Yeah.
But you know, hopefully in the future, it's not going to be to the point where it's like, oh, I'm a girl gamer. Hopefully it'll just be I'm a gamer. You know what I mean? Like it should be like we've got a massive issue in gaming where it's male orientated, so that when there is a female, it's very rare. And we've also got I think there's a big issue with race as well. There's not a lot of. I think it's very much a white sport. Like it's not as diverse as you'd think it'd be. Like I think it's very. There isn't enough ethnicity. I think it's very much. I don't know why that is. Maybe but I think there is an issue where female gamers and obviously people of other ethnicities aren't like not into gaming as much as you know the white British male or white male around the world sort of thing. So obviously that doesn't apply to like PC games like StarCraft and stuff. But within the COD community, I definitely think it's an issue. But girl gamers, you know, I've got no problem with them. People fawn over them too easily, and it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like I couldn't give a shit if you're a girl or not, to be honest.
Yeah. To be fair, like in MLG, there's quite a lot of they coach top teams. They've got all girls teams and stuff out there. So hopefully in the EU, Europe, we can get more girls getting involved. So hopefully it doesn't become as big a deal as it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great that there's girl gaming teams in there. Like, I've got no problem with that. I think it's good that it's going to events, but it's the fact that you actually have to call them like Farrakhan girls. Like, why does it have to be Farrakhan girls?
Yeah, we're
like,
titled specifically
you know what I mean?
as girls.
It's like I understand from a marketing point of view, but then realistically, how much more attention is Farrakhan actually getting because you're in the team? Like, is it making any difference really? Like, you need more girls in the scene, but like, I don't believe like highlighting it so much is right. You know what I mean? It should just be. I'd love to see more girls playing games, really would, but I just, you know what I mean? It generally is a male-dominated pastime.
To be fair, I can see why we do get titled as like foreign girls, Rico girls, whatever. Like the two orgs have actually been in, only because like the marketing side,
timed out.
More to do with that than most things, if you understand.
Yeah, like, I just think that like a lot of girl gamers maybe fawn on the attention as well. Like, you know what I mean? It's like they blow things out of proportion, and the only reason they do get popular is because they're a girl. Like skill wise, maybe they're not as. You know what I mean?
That is one thing I got annoyed with. The reason I did leave foreign girls after EGL 4 was actually because I didn't like the fact that we were just getting stuff because we were girls. Like some people had told me, like, we do have potential, but it's just the fact that we're not taken like seriously or anything like that.
Yeah, it's you know what I mean. At the end of the day, it's great to have girls in gaming, but I just don't think it needs to be it needs to stop being like a shock that the girls play games sort of thing. That's my opinion.
Anyway, that's the end of the interview. We'd like to thank you for your time, and hopefully I'll be seeing you at future events.
Yep. Well, yeah, thanks for having me on, and obviously listening to my often strange opinion.
No problem.